Hey everybody, we are going to check out really quickly the order of sharps, order of flats, and how to figure out the key signature. There's more videos to come on some of the other stuff that you're going to see in your packet, but this video is just really short. We'll keep it short and sweet. So starting right off, the order of sharps and flats, you want to memorize this as soon as possible. So up on the top, this is our order of flats, so you can check that out. It's pretty nice because the flats actually spell a word. So you're going to have bead, G, C, F. So all you have to do is memorize bead, G, C, F, and that is the order of flats. You always have these flats in the same exact order. So you never have an A flat without a B flat. You never have a G flat without any of these other flats. So you're always going to have everything that comes before it, and you'll never have just one by itself without the other. So that's really important to know. The flats, what they look like on the actual staff, once you have your order, so you know it's bead, B-E-A-D, G, C, F, that's the order that the flats come in. This is what it looks like on the staff. So you're going to start on your B flat right here. And you can put a little flat sign right there on the B line. You then hop up to E, so we have B, E, A, D, G, C, and lastly F. So this is what the flats look like on the staff. You might see some of these, you might see all of these, but it's really important to remember that the flats always come in this order, and they will never come just one by itself. You'll never just see a G flat on a staff like this. You'll always see G plus D plus A plus E plus B. So they always come with everything before it. So that's the order of flats, bead, G, C, F, B-E-A-D, G, C, and F. So memorize that, that's the order. The order for sharps, it's kind of nice because it's just the opposite of the order of flats. You can memorize the sharps by going backwards from the order of flats. So the order of sharps is F, C, G, D, A, E, and B. So if you memorize the flats, you also memorize the order of sharps, because you're just going to take this order of flats and go backwards. So you start from the opposite end, and that's your order of sharps. So down here we have our sharps, F, C, G, D, A, E, and B. You can use whatever you want to memorize this. You can just memorize the order of flats and think about it as going backwards, or you can come up with some kind of sentence to remember this, whatever helps you the most. So the sharps look like this. You're going to start on your F line and make a sharp, so we'll switch over to bass clef here, but it can be in any clef. So we have F sharp, next one is C sharp, then we have G sharp, F, C, G, D, A, we're going to go down here. So we have F, C, G, D, A, last one E, and B. So this is the order of sharps. This is how it's always going to look, by the way. You're never going to have an A sharp way up here or an F sharp way down here. They're always going to be on these lines or these spaces. Same exact thing for the flats too. They're always going to be in that order, and they'll always be in that position on the staff. So that is the order of sharps and flats. And the next part is how to figure out the key signature. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. The way you figure this out is you're going to base it off of this order of sharps and flats. So this is going to help you out a lot. So check this out. If somebody gives you the key signature and you have to figure out how many flats there are in that key, this is how you're going to do it. There's different rules for flats and for sharps. I'll show you the flats first, and then I'll show you the rule for the sharps. So say somebody gives you B flat major, and you have to write out the key signature for B flat major. How you want to do that is you're going to take your order of flats, and you're going to base it off of that. So we have B, E, A, D, G, C, F, because I memorized that and I'm good. So boom, B, E, A, D, G, C, F, that's my order. And what you want to do for flats, for all flat keys ever, you can take this note, so B flat, find it in your order, and then add one more flat. This is how many flats you have in your key signature. So for B flat major, we have 1, 2 flats. So we would write 2 flats in our key signature. For every flat key, you're going to find that flat, or that letter, whatever the letter may be, and add 1 more to it. So let's try another one. So B flat major would have 2 flats in the key signature. Equals 2 flats. Because you have B, and you have E. Let's try a G flat major. So for G flat, you're going to do the same exact thing. Find G in the order of flats, and then add 1 more flat to it. So we're going to add C. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flats in the key signature. So you would write all of these flats in your staff, B, E, A, D, G, and C. So you just go 1 more than what it says. So we have G, and then we just add 1 more flat to it. So this one would have 6 flats. And you would write out all those flats on the staff, just like on the previous page, in that order, on those lines and spaces. So 6 flats, G flat major. So that's how that works for flats. You just find this letter number, or letter, right here, and then add 1 more flat to it. And that's it. That's how you find how many flats are in the key signature, if they give you the key. For sharps, it's a different rule. So that's for flats, just for flats. For sharps, it's a little different. So we'll write out our order of sharps. We have F, C, G, D, A, E, and B. And say we need to write out G major. So say we have G major. What we're going to do is we're actually going to go 1 note down from G, and that's going to be our last sharp. So 1 note down from G, 1 note lower, is F. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So 1 note lower is F. And F is going to be our last sharp. So we would only have 1 sharp. We would just have F. So G major just has 1 sharp. Let's try a little harder one. Say you needed to find, let's do A major. So what we do is we go down 1 note from A, and 1 note down from A is going to be G. So if we're thinking 1 note lower than A, that's G. And then we look over here, we find G, and then we're going to add all those flats before it. So G is our last flat, but it also includes all the ones that came before it too. So A major is going to have G plus C plus F. So it's going to have 3 sharps total. Boom. 3 sharps for A major. We'll do one last one because sharps are a little bit weird. The last one, let's try B major. So if you check out B, 1 letter before B is going to be A. We find A over here, and we take A plus everything that came before it. So B major is going to have a lot of sharps. We're going to have A sharp, D sharp, G sharp, C sharp, and F sharp. So for sharps, you go 1 step lower, 1 letter lower, and then you take all of those sharps from that note from everything before it. So on B major, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sharps. So again, the rule for sharps is you take the key, so say we're finding B major, take that key, go 1 letter lower, find that letter in the order, and take every sharp before it, and that's going to be how many sharps you have. For flats, you're going to take the key, so take B flat, or B, find it in the order, and then add 1 to it. So this you're adding 1, this you're going down 1 letter, and that's it. So it's a little different for flats and sharps, but memorize how to do this, memorize the order of sharps and flats, and you'll be in really good shape. So more videos to come, stay tuned, and good luck with your homework. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And also, last announcement, we are going to start having a small AP session for the first 15 to 20 minutes of each advanced band class. So for the first 15 minutes, just grab your instrument and come right to 106. And we're going to go over some of the questions that you might have, some of the homework, we'll do some practice problems, and then we'll go back. The only thing we'll really miss is warm-ups and announcements and getting set up. So this will be a good time for us to connect outside of Extreme because a lot of people can't make it. So we'll connect those first 15 minutes and we'll be in great shape. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, check the site, and happy music theorying.